Hello everyone, have a pleasant day. This is Dr. Srimati from Dr. Ambedkar Global Law Institute, Tirupati. Today we are going to see audit planning. So what is audit planning? An auditor has to plan before he starts his work in any organization. Okay, so here in this we are going to see the audit plan, auditor's plan, and then how he conducts, and then how he controls the audit work, and then in different steps. So first step is before commencement of work of auditor, he should send an audit engagement letter to his client. So here, what is that engagement letter means? It's a letter of confirmation of his acceptance as an auditor. Okay, so it's a documentation of the objectives and the scope of audit work. So here, the extent of auditor's responsibility towards his client, and also the terms and conditions are mentioned in the engagement letter. And the next step is, once the appointment of an auditor has been properly made and he issues an engagement letter to the management, then there is about a next stage. Okay, so he has to plan the work of audit. So here, a properly prepared audit plan helps in a smooth and efficient conduct of audit. So here, how he has to plan? He has to, before making his audit plan, the auditor has to obtain certain information. So what are this? He has to obtain the knowledge of business of the enterprises. So without knowing the nature of business or what the business is, then he can't make any plan towards the audit. Okay, so first thing is he has to obtaining the knowledge of business of the enterprises. And the next one is preparing the overall audit plan. So it is about a master plan, overall audit plan, within how many days it should be conducted, or within how many months it should be completed, like that, how it should be goes on the audit plan. That is about overall audit plan. And the next one is developing the detailed audit program. So once he completes the overview of how the audit is to be done in an organization, then he has to go in detail of audit program. So that is about. So once he completes all this, then there is about a next step. That is third step, the organizing. Okay, so once he did everything, then he has to organize the audit work, such as he has to divide the audit clerks. Okay, so with a number of audit clerks according to their knowledge and experience to the organization. So here the auditor has to select properly the audit clerks, so has to do that audit work according to their knowledge and experience. And next one is he has to prepare a suitable audit program, and then he has to make available of audit files, and he has to keep, that is, he has to instruct the audit clerks to have an audit notebook, and then he should have the working papers relating to the audit during his work. Okay, on to the audit engagement letter. So what is audit engagement letter is? So it is, we can say it is about a document which is sent by the auditor to the client under an audit, during that audit or before that audit. Usually that is before the commencement of the audit. Then here what it is means, it just signifies the confirmation of his acceptance. It gives an acceptance of appointment of auditor with some specifying objectives, scope, terms and conditions. As I already said, the auditor should be very clear with what the objective of his audit, and what is the scope of audit, and what are the terms and conditions of his audit. Okay, so with the client, that should be very much clear. So that has been mentioned in the audit engagement letter. So here, suppose if in case statutory audit means, then the government has the client. Okay, so here the engagement letters ensures that The client has clearly, they have to mention what is the scope of an audit is. So here, in case the audit which is not conducted in pursuance of the requirement of law, then the engagement letter confirms the verbal agreement which is about reached between the auditor and the enterprises under the audit. Okay. Suppose in case the auditor should get a copy of engagement, that is this letter, engagement letter, signed by a responsible official of the enterprises, so that the engagement letter becomes an agreement. Once the officials of an enterprises and the auditor, both they get signed in that letter, means then it becomes an agreement in relation to the objective, scope of and obligation of the auditor. Okay. And then here the form and the contents of audit engagement letter will be differ from one client to another clients. Okay, because it varies. Okay, every organization varies, every client it varies. The first thing is the objective of audit of financial information. One enterprises, they may require to audit only the cash transactions. The another enterprises, they may audit the entire financial statement. So it differs. The objective of audit of financial information has differed from one client to another client. So it differs. Okay, engagement also differs. Engagement letter also differs. And responsibility of management for preparation of financial statements under audit, that also differs. One company or one enterprises, they may prepare, and finally they may ask the auditor to go for only the auditing. But some companies, they may ask the auditor to prepare the final statement and then go for the audit of that statement. Okay, so it differs. The nature or form of audit reports and then other communication of results of engagement. Okay, it differs. Okay, from one organization to another organization. And then the scope of audit work or the time period to complete the work. Suppose say for example, a reputed company, they want to declare a interim dividend, means they want to complete it within a few days, so has to declare the dividend. Suppose another company, once they are making a final audit, it may take some time to complete that audit. So it's about work, complete time taken to complete the work will differ. And the pronouncements of the professional body to which the auditor is on this subject. Okay, so it differs from one organization to another organization. And next one is we move to that. Besides the letter, this may also refer to the following aspects. What are the aspects? So apart from what I said above, so these things also will be available in the audit engagement letter. So the first thing is the availability of records, documents, informations, explanations which has been required in connect with the audit. That is most important. And then the basis for computation of audit fees, and then billing agreements, that should be there. Then arrangements regarding the conduct of audit, how they are going to make an arrangement, where they are going to do it. Okay, during business hours, if it is about business hours, in the office itself, then the place of conduct of audit should be separately allotted. And then in case of a non-statutory audit, then the purpose for which the audit report can be used, for what purpose the report to be used. And then communication with the previous auditor, that is most important. As I already said, it is about a duty of an auditor. So it is about communication with the previous auditor and arrangement with other auditors. He has to do it. And then experts for a particular aspect of audit. If he requires any experts knowledge for making any inquiries, then he has to get that services. And then if he requires any knowledge of internal auditor, then he can take it from the internal auditor and then staff of the client for the purpose of audit. Then lastly, the request for written confirmation from management with regard to the representations concerning the audit. So this should be there in an audit engagement letter. Then engagement letter in case of a repeated audit. The audit, when it has been repeated, when it has been repeat, so it is required only under the following circumstances. When they want to repeat that engagement letter, means If there is a change in the management, then they have to repeat the engagement letter again, since the engagement letter which has been signed before has changed. Now the management has changed. Then if there is any if there are changes in the terms of audit engagement, if the either the auditor wants to change it, or the management or the client want to change it, then the audit engagement letter should be changed and it should be repeated. Then to remove the misunderstanding between the client and the auditor, then if any relating to the objectives and scope of audit, and then if there is significant changes in the size or nature of a business concern, the size of a business or nature of a business itself is changed, then the audit engagement letter should be repeated, which may affect the audit procedure to be adopted, because audit procedure should be changed, right? Then schedule for completion of work, it will also affect, and like this everything will get affected. So the auditor should be repeat the engagement letter. So these are the things related to audit engagement letter. I think I have done. Until the next, it's bye from Srimati.